Hey everybody, it's free to play bust with expedition number 183. Let's get to it. All right, cool. Let's jump in on Tahm Kench. I have gotten to play a bit of Tahm Kench. I don't think I've put together a video on it, and so this will be an interesting little touch here. As far as these other ones go, I think Tahm Kench is likely just the best choice here. Regardless, he's just such an extremely powerful champion. But wouldn't fault you for wanting to take the Aurelion Soul, and would not recommend going after Swain. I think this is just one of the weaker card pools in the set. So let's take a moment. I'll get this Tahm Kench pulled up on the site. Okay, if you're not familiar, it's ftpbus.com. I'm pretty caught up as far as the Call of the Mountain release goes, or the Monuments of Power release goes. The tier list's out. The set review is done. I've got all of the 3-minute gods updated down in the expedition helper section, and so the 2-week patch comes out here in a day or so, and so we'll have a little more updates. But it's as far as it goes right now, it's good to go. All we're going to do is we're going to scroll down to Tahm Kench, and this is going to just list all of the cards that exist in this card pool. And so with Tahm Kench, I do think he's the most powerful champion out of the Monuments of Power, and arguably he gives Leona a run for her money. Raw power wise, he might be better than Leona, but card pool wise, I don't think so. But you know, the things that you're supposed to be doing specifically with this card pool is this pairs up with Soraka, and the idea is that you're going to be using Tahm Kench. He has his acquired tastes that deal damage to him. Boxtopus and Fortune Croaker come into play with damage on them, and then you'll use the healing cards out of Targon to heal those guys back up. Then, if you're not able to get some kind of healing, whether or not it's from Soraka or Gems or Resplendent Touch or whatever the various healing cards are, then you can use Bayou Brunch. And then, kind of the ideal with Bayou Brunch is say we play a Boxtopus. He comes into play as a 3/1 because he took some damage. Then we brunch him away, so something else will get +3/+1 until it dies. And then when this guy comes back into play, he'll be a 3/4, and so he won't have that play ability deal damage to him. Play means that it's something that happens when you play something from your hand. This would be if I had like a summon ability, that would happen when it comes back from brunch. And so, in general, I think this is a reasonably powerful pool. I do like to either pair this with Targon, or the other big pairing for this is with Freylord. If you're frostbiting your opponent's units when they come back to strike Tahm Kench, he won't take any damage. And so it can be a little bit tougher to get the Freylord version rolling. The cards like Boxtopus and Fortune Croaker, to a degree like Lounging Lizard, they don't play quite as well with the Frostbite theme as they do with the healing theme. But I think if you're able to get to 3 wins, then that theme might pay off just a little bit more. But nonetheless, like within this card pool itself, we're really looking for these Boxtopuses. I think this unit is just fantastic. Pool Shark is pretty important since it comes down on 1, can eat a Fortune Croaker hit and then still do something. And then otherwise, this is just trying to play large health units so that you can deal some self damage and then have them still sit around and do things. That's where you have Wise Fry and Slotbot. They just have big booties on them, and they can take some of this self damage. And so the route that we'll have to take with this kind of depends on what falls in the second pack. We're guaranteed to see a Targon champion, so we're at least able to go down that path. But we're looking to Freylord as well. Lots of possible power with the Tahm Kench here. I'm not a huge fan of Lounging Lizard. I think this card is pretty bad, but you know, starting with the Tahm Kench, which is a premier champion in the Pool Shark, is a pretty good way to go with this. Okay, these packs are not good. This is really not what we were looking for as far as these things go. I think we can pretty safely just take the Aurelion Soul, but like looking at these, this is a reasonably powerful Fizz. Zap Spray Fin, pretty powerful unit. Fizz is whatever. He's not very good. This card pool is not very good, but you know, it has this unconditional removal and a zap spray fin. And so if there's ever a reason to take a Spellslinger's Fizz, this is it. But still, in general, like it's a reasonable support card pool. It has a lot of card draw in it, but it's not what we're looking to support Tahm Kench with. I think kind of the same thing applies down here with Quinn. Is Tahm Kench tends to be more of a spell-centric style deck. Whether or not we're going with the healing theme or the frostbite theme, we're tending to just kind of durdle around and play a bunch of spells, whereas Quinn wants to be attacking every turn of the game. And it just doesn't thematically play too well with Tahm Kench. And so that leaves us back here with Targon. Aurelion Sol doesn't play fantastically with Tahm Kench, but this is where we're going to get access to our healing cards. And so we'll just go ahead and dive in, even though this isn't an ideal card pool. If we take a look at the Aurelion Sol here, you at Dragon's Descent, I don't think there's too many ways to actually heal in here. There's just Guiding Touch. I was wanting to see if there was also Resplendent Stellacorns in here, but there is not. Oh, I forgot Astral Protection also plays pretty fantastically with Tahm Kench. So there's a couple cards to this theme that we can be looking for. And these two pools do play together at least a little bit nicely. The Bilgewater side is extremely heavy on the early game, and then Aurelion Sol will let us pick up the late game cards we're looking for. The only things that's really kind of short in these pools would be like 3 and 4 drops. 4 drops outside of Tahm Kench, we should say, but that's a pretty small hurdle to actually be getting over. So I think we'll be okay here. We don't really looking for too much out of this Aurelion Sol pool, but things like not Fuse Firebrand, Moondreamer will play out pretty well here, and then Sunburst is another thing that we would be pretty stoked to be picking up. But I'm not really looking to do like the Dragon build around here, but nonetheless, this is a pretty reasonable support Aurelion Sol, just having a really strong piece of top end, a good start to having our top end filled out so we can really just go do our heart's content to find early game stuff to do and healing to do, and then I think we'll be pretty good to go here. Okay, all right. This is a touch awkward. I could never just recommend playing Wish. This pile is just about as unplayable as it gets. And so I think we'll take the Astral Protection Moondreamer. It's got some healing in it and the protection. Even without doing the healing themes with Tahm Kench, I've been pretty big on Astral Protection. I think this card's just very good. I thought this was going to be kind of a turd when the set came out, and I was pleasantly surprised the whole way through. And then Moondreamer is just excellent top end. Like, as far as top end goes, if we just like pick up this Moondreamer, maybe one more Moondreamer, and then just random dude that costs like 7, that's a pretty reasonable set of top end. Here, there's an argument to take the better early game. I just don't think that's what we really need to do here. I think these thematically play much better with what we're trying to pull off. Okay. These cards do not. That's pretty easy to say. Here, I don't want to take Demacia cards. We really just want to be in Targon Bilgewater. If Freylord shows up, like if we see like a Harsh Winds or something, then we're going to have a real decision to make. But for these real combat-oriented cards, I'm not really looking to dive in that way. So I'm not real huge on Bayou Brunch or Chum the Waters. I mean, if these things like Moondreamer were summons and not plays, then I'd be more inclined to take Bayou Brunch, but I'm just not a huge fan of this on its own. So I think we can find something to do with Slotbot, and Double Trouble's not ideal, but if we're light on 1-drops, then it at least plays as a pretty good curve filler. Okay, this is the kind of Mending Touch we're talking about, just getting a Mountain Goat Boxtopus, just all around plays to the themes we're trying to do. Gems tend to be the easiest way to kind of get this healing theme going, and so we're pretty happy to pick up Mountain Goats, pretty happy to pick up Gift Givers. They just play out pretty fantastically here. This is a very powerful pack with Hush Moondreamer, but I think we need to be, these both are cheap and they're both on point as far as synergies go. I think that's a pretty easy pickup. Okay, it's kind of the same deal. Pool Shark Hired Gun's great here. Hired Gun, just some of the best interaction that we're going to be able to find. Pool Shark interacting pretty well with all of our self-damage themes. He's good early, he's good late. Just a great set of cards to pick up. Don't want Demacia stuff. I was kind of interested in Shell Shocker, but Pocket Aces is pretty terrible. Okay, all right, well, we're looking pretty good on our twos here. Always happy to pick up Mountain Goats, Fortune Croaker Gate as well. Just easy source of card advantage. Pretty happy to pick these up. Okay, all right. Divergent Paths is this can like really skyrocket in value if you actually spike an epic or spike a landmark, but they're all epic and pretty hard to find, and so we're going to be stuck with something else down here. I do like the idea of Zenith Blade here if we can pick up another one. It's just such a fantastic expedition card, and then I think this is what we'll take. I don't really need the Wave Rider. I'm more interested in trying to pick up Moondreamers than Slippery Wave Riders. And then Strong Arm is a pretty weak removal spell. So let's see if we can't find another blade before this is over with. Okay, this is a lot closer than I think you could initially give it credit for. I think Eclipse Dragon is whatever was us talking about earlier in the run. If we could just pick up a random 7-drop, having that be Eclipse Dragon would be fantastic. Dude is easily one of the most powerful cards to come out of the set. He just does everything, whether or not it's to come down and then make another dragon cheaper, make another celestial cheaper. Just having these expensive cards down here tend to really like gum up your hand, and this Daybreak helps immensely. And then if you need to draw 2 cards, drawing a random dragon and a celestial is a pretty powerful ability. But I believe we're going to just take the healing cards with the 2nd protection and the Gift Giver. Dragon's Clutch is just 100% dead in our deck. And then, I mean, you can draw Aurelion Soul with it, but that's not what we're really trying to do here. Then Chum the Waters isn't good enough to be drafting, even though it's with Pole Shark. So we'll take the Mending Touch. Okay, this is a fairly weak set. Slippery Wave Rider's fine. I tend to prefer this in more aggressive decks, and we're definitely not an aggressive deck here. This is more of a mid-rangey deck pushing towards the control side. This is going to be like a slow mid-range deck that we have put together here, and the Wave Rider just plays better as like a finisher in an aggro deck. So I think I want to take the Boxtopus, even though Pocket Aces is pretty weak. I'll be so stoked if we could trade this Coral Creatures for Pocket Aces. That's not the way the game works. Okay, cool, great set for us. A Mountain Goat with a healing card, pretty good set. Zap Spray Fin is interesting. What are our spells? Are we just the one Guiding Touch at this point? Cost 3 or less. It'll be much better if we're able to find like one Behold the Infinite. Well, no, we have a handful of spells. The Double Trouble actually I think makes this much worse, but Zap is still a pretty fantastic unit. Here again, kind of the same thing. This is a great aggro set with a Double Trouble Wave Rider, just not what we're trying to do. There is an argument to just go ahead and take the Behold the Infinite Firebrand. Like the Firebrands is not really units I'm looking to have in my deck, though. I kind of like the idea of just having this card advantage dude and then a dude that's good at just stalling the board. So I think we do want to pick up Zap here. Okay, all the astral protections. I'm gonna take the Spacey Sketcher. It just plays so fantastically with all of the gem builders we have between the 3 goats and the Gift Giver, and so at any stage of the game, this is typically pretty good. Whether or not it's discarding a spare gem, discarding like something expensive at the beginning of the game, getting rid of the Zenith Blade because we haven't picked up a second one. It just does about everything, and then we got our 3 astral protections is a little much, but I think I'm okay with that. Like our choices here are the Gift Giver, Spacey Sketcher. The Gift Giver might be slightly better, but when it comes to the protection and the hunting fleet, the protection is just leagues better than adding a hunting fleet to our deck. Okay, right here I think we're kind of stuck taking sunk cost. We haven't seen any sunbursts, we haven't seen any scrap shots, and we just have to have one of these kind of unconditional removal spells. And so it does suck to be spending 8 mana on a slow removal. This is a lot closer to the bad side of mediocre than the good, but this is an effect I really don't like finishing an expedition without having. I did immediately see like the Yibin Worn Salvage, and this could technically be better. But we do have like this early game interaction already, which makes me not like really feel like I need to be warned. We have 2 Boxtopuses and a hired gun, so we can do a bit of early game stuff. I worry more about, our opponent dropping a Zenith Dragon or something and not being able to interact with it. Okay. We definitely don't need any more astral protections. I would be okay with the priestess. We never quite found that just like a little bit more of top end that we're looking for, but when we have like Aurelion Soul, I think we're okay with that. We'll just have to pay special attention with our 2 Moondreamers to just try to take the most expensive card that we're able to take. So I'm going to swap out the Zenith Blade for a Guiding Touch. This thematically will just be more on point in our deck. And if we're able to get to the 3-win stage, we should be pretty well set for this Tahm Kench build around between having 2 Guiding Touches and 3 Astral Protections. So I think we'll be pretty okay with this. Right. Came together okay. Not upset with how it looks here. I would like to have just a little bit more top end in it and like a sunburst, and then I'd be pretty happy with how we got this together. Okay. Against dragons, we're probably reasonably safe to just hang on to White Flame Protector. I don't feel like we need to just like hard mulligan for Tahm Kench. We have a pretty reasonable early game here. Cool.
The journey is difficult. These will protect you. Heed the path.
Got him good. We're gonna smoke that next turn. We have to open into this thing. We can't have him just playing White Flame Protectors onto our board. And I mean, it's unfortunate, but I think we need to blast into this thing with hired gun. There are some. If he gives it like tough, we just want this thing to die. And so if he gives it tough, we at least have one additional way to deal with this. I mean, he does have ways that we can't get through with like frostbites and whatever, but I think we had to just kind of look beyond that 1 point of damage and try our best to get this thing off board.
Even to their young bloods, we are nothing.
I think we just kind of want to bank here. We can eat like a 4-hit from White Flame Protector. The thing that's going to suck is he's going to just play like 5-drop Dragon next turn. And we really don't have an answer to it.
The prophecies ring true!
Oh, come on, bud. My teammate's running around. Here he comes. Okay. So we got all the interaction we need now. Hopefully we can do something good here. I don't think we don't need to gem. Then we do need to open.
Time to make some coin.
Same deal with this. I want, if he has a tough card, he has a tough card. Otherwise, I want to just be, trying to ace this Herald. Sure, I was considering not making this attack. There's a lot of ways for this to go bad, but this is kind of one of these spots where if you're familiar with how we talk about things like like riposte in these spots, like he really wants to be playing something like Radiant Strike to win that combat. He doesn't want to be playing things that cost more than 1 mana, because it makes it too hard for him to play a unit behind.
Keep up, keep up.
Tempted to just discard it. I don't think we need to. I think I'm good to just discard our Jin. We don't need to worry about the healing with any of the cards we have. Let's just pick up the elusive.
Oh yeah, that's a pretty sparkle fly.
Hopefully get some chip damage in here. I haven't got cat hair in my mouth yet this run. It feels like we've done a pretty good job if we made it this far without getting cat hair in our mouths. Oh boy. We're just gonna have to try to win with elusives. We're never gonna outvalue all these dragons. He's 100% attacking. We don't need to add any of this stuff yet.
I am change.
I feel like there's a
Not my
reason to
first
go ultra
gunfight.
greedy here. Let's just keep playing around the toughs. I mean, I don't know how we're supposed to come back from this. He's going to draw 2 dragons off of this. We don't have any late game.
Son of a.
Guess we sequenced this poorly. We should have played the Croaker
For
first.
silver I talk, for gold I listen.
Didn't matter. Alright, here's the answer to all our problems. Okay, let's see if we can just win this with Aurelion Soul. So been such a different game if we were able to just pop off that dragon thing on the second turn. I talk about it quite a bit in the Aurelion Soul work we've done. It's just such a high risk, high reward card, right? If you're drawing Herald of Dragons now, it's just completely dead. If you can't play it until like turn 5, it's typically pretty dead. But you know, if you're able to have it on 2 and pull off this curve, then there's just nothing better in the format. Here, we can eat this 5. I don't. Like, he doesn't really. He has Freylord in his deck, but it doesn't seem like something that's going to be doing a lot of overwhelming.
Faraway worlds, galaxies, all connected.
Tahm Kench. Okay. Gives us some removals here. We got something to do with our gems now. Answer to Invalus Vox is pretty nice. Of course. What can you say? Check.
Pablo's been down, but his knee out! Ah, I told your ancestors to protect!
Okay, seems reasonable. I mean, we're just kind of on this plan where we have to just sit around and try to block, and then win with elusives, but it doesn't appear that plan is going to be ultra successful here. Just had all the answers to everything at every corner of this game.
For silver I talk, for gold I listen.
You're not the only one, Babs. Huh?
Do it. We can still pull this off. I'm really afraid to see what he's invoked for. If he hasn't played any of his invokes up to this stage of the game, this feels like a
that's
place
my
where we're
favorite
about to
too.
just get blasted by the Scourge.
Bring a flip. Should have stayed home, pal. We are inevitable.
You
Okay, well, I mean, we can continue on with this plan until he plays the Scourge. Okay, we'll just go ahead and give this one up. There's no way we're gonna win with our elusive chip damage against Aurelion Soul. That is what it is. That was an ultra high rolling matchup to run into. I feel given if we got to play that 10 times, we'd probably win 7 of them. But it is what it is. That's the way it pans out sometimes. This is awkward with the sunk cost. Like, I don't like super want it. I just I like little want it. If we had like the 3 Tahm Kenches, then I would be super cool with just getting rid of it. But as it stands, I think we need to hold on to it, even though Gift Giver is pretty powerful. So I think we'll just skip everything here. Pole Sharks are like Crescent Guardian's not what we're trying to do. Pole Shark is. So let's give this one a skip. Okay. Getting that perfect opponent. There we go. Lee Sin Darius, sure. Let's see if he's doing the Lee Sin and the arenas here. I'm not a huge fan of pairing Lee Sin with Noxus. There's just not enough spells within Noxus. Here we can get rid of everything. We need some of our early game interaction. Didn't found it, but it's not the end of the world. I don't think we want to play Pole Shark or Gift Giver. I think we just want to play Double Trouble on 2. Both of these are still pretty reasonable as the grain progresses. It's not a very good Double Trouble. Like I'm not expecting a whole lot out of it, but I would at least like to hit 5 stats. I mean, I guess we did spike a Poro Fly with it.
Let's play.
So it wasn't as bad as I was giving it credit for there.
Spin, spin, spin. You win.
Okay, and I think we're good to add the Protector. Even it's tough for him to play something that just wins combat against Protector. A lot of things that will just trade. That's perfectly fine. Still get a value attack out of our slot bot.
Searching for a stock of winners.
Sure. Oh, the slot bots. I think he's sharply dropped in value since the new cards have been released. It's just there's so many silences now between Hush and the thing that the Sunburst. Just start skipping here, right? We need to put a point in front of Swell Squirrel. I worry about getting into multiple combats with Swell Squirrel. That's kind of my problem here. I think we want to just pass so we could try to offer up the trade with Slotbot.
Can't leave until you win.
Let's do this. Let's just go ahead and pass this combat and see how he responds. If we lose our slot bot, we're okay with it. But if we'll see, this feels like a twin disciplines. A rush is so good for us. Let's go ahead and cycle out this guiding touch. What's your stats supposed to be? If we heal this, it'll just heal to 4, right? We need to Sunblessed Vigor. Winning this would be huge. Nice.
Spin, 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 you win!
Yeah, that's how it works. It would have just healed up to 4. So it's a touch awkward, but not the end of the world.
still
pretty
good
reasonable
to
spot for
scrap.
Octopus when we have a bunch of healing in our hand.
Wisdom is strength.
Not a whole lot we can do about him. Let's just try and grind this board down a little bit.
Bring a flippin' should have stayed home, pal.
We do have to worry about him giving this thing Overwhelm. That's probably the big reason that he wants to be a Noxus. You can do that with Lee Sin, and then to a degree if your fallback is with Horns of the Dragon.
Where do you stand
So we'll
on
need
cold
to
shots?
figure out a way to actually interact with this thing.
The
But
journey is difficult.
We
These
should,
will
our
protect
health
us.
total should be high enough to just be able to drop units in front of this for a few turns. Oh man, I didn't realize we pull shocked our Aurelion soul. That kind of sucks.
Time for violence.
Okay. None of these hooks are particularly. I mean, it sucks to lose a slot pot, but this isn't the end of the world.
Cut him down.
Okay, and then he can resonating strike anything that we do. I think we do still want to block all this stuff just to protect our health. So
You're in for a whooping.
let's see what we can do to try to wear this
Wait a
down.
minute.
Really want to. You'll just die. We astral protection. Okay. Sure.
Don't mind me, mate.
Okay. We'll add the Porofla as well. Just get fully banked. Yeah, losing Aurelion souls kind of suck. But hopefully we can just grind harder than this guy. I mean, it feels like this game probably just going to come down to does he get an active Lee Sin, or do we get a Tahm Kench on board?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Actually, let's.
These gems grant a wearer harmony.
Listen and learn.
Don't really have a whole lot to do here. I'm tempted to just guiding touch our lizard, but I think we're okay to just stall out another turn. Sure. I mean, this is pretty not intimidating. If he plays like a Kato the Arm, it becomes a problem, but we seem to have an ample amount of blockers just to put in front of this thing.
I taste purple. Yay.
Okay, I think we want to take the value route here and just take the Traveler. He is getting pretty close to just dying to elusives, though. Perhaps we should just take Golden Sister. Get the second elusive down.
So much to tell us.
That'll let us. We can win with elusives in 2 turns, assuming he only gets in 1 hit with the Tasty Feyfolk.
This might hurt you.
Ready for the fight.
Protector,
I
shield
guess we
me.
should technically put an extra point of health in front of this
This is
thing.
not the way.
Tell me a story.
Keep trying.
That's painful, but sure. Not the end of the world.
Protector.
We do need to heal this thing now. Oh, okay. I don't understand why I thought he was out of the game, but alright. So cool. That's the big hurdle to get over, is getting our second Tahm Kench. If we can get up to 3, then we should be in a pretty good spot to make a run, but this is certainly one of these decks to where you need to pick up a whole bunch of them. Oh, beautiful set. Just so much top end. Just a healing spell that generates top end and a rumble. Rumble playing pretty reasonably with Tahm Kench. Just a great set of cards. Absolutely happy to see it like that. Alrighty. All the Lee Sins today. We should be seeing less Lee Sin here in a couple days once the what's it called? The Monuments of Power buff falls off for how frequently the new card pools show up. Whoa. Not excited to start with Aurelion Souls. I'm real tempted to block here. Like, I'm fine to just pick up a gem and then do it again next turn. Right, this will trade with his 4/3. Yeah, this seems fine to me. And there is, to a degree, what I at least like about it in this spot is whenever they want to make like blighted caretaker plays, they're gonna have to like sacrifice a good unit. If it's like this, right? He didn't start with the hapless aristocrat. He wants to be sacrificing cheap, crappy dudes when it comes to what he's sacrificing to caretaker. And just keeping this board clear against Callista makes me feel pretty good about what's going on. Seems like we might be getting spiked by the horror thing. We should probably go ahead and just gem up this mountain goat. Well, if he had it, he would have played it.
A game. Go on then.
Right, if he would have Unspeakable Horde in combat so we didn't get the extra gem, he would have certainly Vile Feasted before combat if he had it. And then he missed his allegiance. That sucks for you, friend. I know. I know, man. I'm not real stoked about actually killing this Wraith Collar, but
Pablo's been down, but
it appears to be what we're going to be doing here. Right, because they just have so many ways to bring it back.
Watch this.
Where are you off to?
It's getting into combat with something. We could technically double gem our Boxtopus and then Sunblessed Vigorite, but that feels a little more all in than I'm willing to be. Okay. Seems a little spewy to me.
My win streak!
I keep wanting to heal this back up, but it just doesn't seem to matter.
Let's play.
Right, he just hasn't played any of the punish. Like he's had ample opportunity to punish us for having a 1 health unit. He just hasn't done it.
Master yourself, master your enemy.
Let's see what he does.
firmly.
Sure.
Conflict is all in the mind. Center your spirit.
There it is. He okay. Maybe he could have been holding it, I guess. But it just doesn't feel like it's the case.
I will not hold back.
Good game.
There's always fighting 8-punch Pablo.
Okay, well, here's a pretty fantastic place to be dropping our gems. What up, Rummel? Let's just go. We should probably save this one for the sketcher.
Start the round. Give us some room. Ooh, you wee scruff.
He can barrier through this. It's just kind of tough for him to do without a resonating strike.
I'll see this through.
Sure.
Dragon.
It's like, man, if he drops another 1 damage thing on us, they're gonna be like, he had the most patience in the world. Here, I probably just want to take the silence. It's close. He's getting like real close to just being dead. But like we're not gonna have the time to play this.
And here's where I'd paint my constellation.
See if we can't get good use out of this Equinox. Right, because we're just playing Rummel this turn and then we're opening, and so like I would kind of want that health on board. I just don't think we're gonna find a spot to do it. Okay, cool. So the trades. I don't think we want any of these. I certainly want to hang on to our Rummel. With these, you know, they're essentially the same unit as far as this deck is concerned, and I'd rather just have the cheaper one when it comes down to this. And then this isn't a pilfered goods deck. We're pretty happy to have pull sharks. There are times when we can seriously struggle to plunder, so I don't think we need to be picking this up. Now, our level of card advantage is pretty good. We've got 2 Shell Shockers, a Fortune Croaker. It's like, is that it? I feel like we had a little bit more down here. We got the Moon Dreamers and Star Shaping. I think this is fine. All right. Had to cancel that last one as allergies are acting up. It's not supposed to happen in the winter, but I guess it's not winter yet. It did just snow here, though, and so that makes it count. Our first snow of the season. Okay. Leonovai. So here, let's hang on to Tahm Kench. We'll hang on to the Boxtopus. Just some early interaction to go with him. The goat. Okay. The gems aren't really like the ideal way to be healing Tahm Kench, but you know, they get the job done in a pinch. Star Shaping's more like it.
One foot in front of the other.
I'm gonna add this. We're just gonna like let this keep doing its thing. We'll block Tyare, pick up the gem, and not worry about this shield bearer. And we'll just be adding Tahm Kench next turn. I think that's okay. There's just not. He's not getting enough like damage value out of this shield bearer for us to like want to block it with Mountain Goat and then follow up with Boxtopus.
No time to rest.
This feels like we're gonna get hit by a Sunblessed Shield or whatever those are called, but it's not the end of the world. Yeah.
There's always room for supper.
Alright, he can't Sunburst us just yet. Sunbursts are a little bit awkward with Tahm Kench if he's able to get his thing going. Interesting, this runs out Leona. So why would he do that?
Appetizers are plenty.
It's tough for him to have an answer to this. This open isn't very good.
Unyielding light.
Sure. I mean, there's no like combat tricks to protect this Leona with. We want to just play a blocker first.
My comestibles are getting cold.
Okay. Check our ability to get Celestials here. It's pretty reasonable for us to pull off a Cosmic Rays.
Bring Nightbloom.
It'll take us a few turns to get there, but I think we can probably get a good one against Leona. Like, the only unit that they're really running out that can kind of survive through this is a
Blessings from the sun.
Ravoon. Closer you to flipping. Your flip doesn't matter for 2 turns. We still just want to eat this hit, though. Let's eat this Leona.
I won't stop now.
Come on, chase!
Okay, we'll just prevent some damage here. Oh, we just need time. As long as we're just sitting around against all this garbage, protect. Like, if we can just keep this Tahm Kench on board, then we'll be okay.
I'm sure there's something for my tastes.
Just worry about losing this Tahm Kench to a Mystic Shot is the big problem. I don't think we need to be in a real hurry here, though. This feels like a waste to just be star shaping on Tom. But this is reasonable. We're just planning on playing big removal spell. The Scourge feels a little expensive, but we've got plenty of time here to just sit around and not do anything.
My
Sure.
faith protects me.
So we can, as it stands, we can, we should be able to get like a 3-for-1 out of this Obliterate.
Let us peruse this establishment's fare.
Yeah, we lost a card. It's been a while since I've managed to let that happen. Okay. I mean, it sucks to lose Tom, but he loses his Leona like this as well. I don't feel like we need to Cosmic Rays. I'm going to give him the opportunity to play more cards. If he doesn't, then I'm just gonna
As foretold.
put down a bunch of real units here.
I'm not afraid.
See how much wider we can have him get on board before we drop Cosmic Rays.
I'm still good to scrap.
I want to go ahead and try to prevent just a touch of damage in case he has like a static shock.
Where do you stand on
You may know
cold
the jig is up
shots?
here. He hasn't been adding anything.
Keep up,
Okay.
keep up.
Seems like he knows. So let's. We still have extremely good hooks on what's on his board here. So we can just kind of give up on the cosmic rays for a moment. Interesting. Do we ever need to pocket aces? I think we just need to gem hook the dragon. Look as good guy here. We might as well see what blockers we generate with double trouble. Okay. Whoa. Well, surprised to see him just roll that out with how low our health total is.
Right.
Through the coral.
Start the round. Where are you off to? Should have stayed home, pal.
Okay.
I've got us covered.
Oh! My win streak!
Yeah, again, we have our supernova. This is like the exact opposite of having whatever this is, cosmic rays. I don't think we'll ever need the destroyer. Okay, let's take the removal.
Constellations are stories in the sky.
Bad! You bad!
Don't really need a hired gun. I just want to get the unit on board.
Success gets you noticed around here.
Can we ever get this to flip? I don't think so. We're pretty far away from getting Aurelion Soul to flip. This
Tell me
feels
a story.
really spewy.
Make it worth my while.
Where you going?
Can't pocket aces this thing down, but like when we have both supernova cosmic rays, I think we're good to play this fairly slow.
Trespassers!
Missed.
Good. Like the Scourge slightly just feels better. We can't just kill with it though. Is what I would of course prefer to be doing. It's tough for him to have like good protection with the Stalking Broodmother though. Could be safer to just play Aurelion Soul. He's not playing Aurelion Soul. We certainly don't need any more cosmic rays. Let's just take the cheaper one.
The heavens diminish without my
Warriors of the
Sure.
Raharak, our time is now!
We'll follow you to the
Okay,
edge
so let's do
of
this. We'll get
daybreak.
Zap in. Next turn, we'll probably just add the Scourge. I have to assume that he's not long
To
for
shine like the sun, you must burn
getting
like
a flip in on our Aurelion Soul. This looks like we might actually
the dawn
have
has
to be
arrived.
playing Supernova.
Sunlight blinds.
But if he opens with the Stalking Broodmother, we get pretty good Supernova down. Come on, bud. Don't just claw my arms. Sure. Not quite enough to kill an Aurelion Soul without another card. Oh, bud. So let's see. I think we're pretty good here. Like either he opens and we just can just block, or he doesn't open and we can supernova. We are going to lose access to Aurelion Soul, but
Behold the
we
sun's
can
holy
defend
light.
from that point forward. Well, but oh. Oh, are we just dead? Yeah. Oh, cool. He's playing stuff, but we're still just dead. I don't think we have draws out of this. Need to silence our Aurelion Soul.
Must make that star saddle.
Damn, took just a little bit too much. This Cosmic Rays
We
did
will
not pan out.
suffer unbelievers.
Holy shit, he just gave it to
not
us.
escape
Oh no, this still has Daybreak. Shit. Shit. Okay. It's like, oh man, he played a 2-attack unit. We can survive that. He took it one too far. Okay. Yeah, we probably could have played that one differently. That Cosmic Rays did not pan out.
Honestly, who loses?
I just
with
had a
Face Dragon
I had a
on
feeling
their
that he was just going to be like spreading out this board of 3/3s, like just keep playing, because that's typically where you get your power out of Leona, is just playing a bunch of shield bears and shield bears and shield bears, and I felt like we were going to be able to get like a 3-for-1 or a 4-for-1 off of Cosmic Rays, and he just played around that beautifully. We'll give him props as though that was intentional, but he handled that quite well. But here we can swap out the lizard for the croaker. I'm just not a huge fan of the lizard. If you find if you're building around Soraka and you have like Soraka and like you spike a star fountain or whatever it's called, then sure, go for your lounging lizards. But in general, I just don't like it. And I'd be happy to get rid of Double Trouble as well. But the Fortune Croaker is a much bigger upgrade than the Coral Creatures. Yeah, I don't remember what our other options were with that Cosmic Rays, but it was certainly not worth building towards. Probably should have just taken some of those cheaper Celestials. So we could have had a turn to where we tried to play like a 7 and then, well, we didn't. I don't think we had any 3-drops in our hand, but that was awkward. Okay, so listen. Here, I think we want it to just look like this. Maybe we hang on to Slotbot as well. I'm pretty happy to just go ahead and get rid of Pocket Aces. Not an awesome set of cards. I don't think they're going to have like followers we're super excited to try to pick up. I think we just have to take Crescent Strike here.
One star's whoopsie is another
And
spark.
hold on to it for 100 turns and maybe pop a Lee Sin once he's relevant. Sure.
Pablo's been down, but he's nay out.
Nothing escapes my watch.
He's kind of answered it at every turn at the beginning here, but that's okay. Like we're not trying to be an aggressive deck here. Sure. He's getting us with. It's not the actual worst card in the game. I give that honor to Monkey Business, but
A winner is you!
Tall Tales is pretty bad.
The trap is set.
And he's going the full Yeti cloning program and not doing the Elnix. If he starts dropping Elnix on us, then oh boy, we're in for a treat.
Optimal outcome
Surprised he didn't attack with the Enraged Yeti. I'm still pretty cool to just keep passing back and forth. We have a slot bot on board, and we're going to play a much better late game than this guy is. Take Golden Sister.
What's that one? And that one?
All the Tall Tales. Oh man, he's been reading the stories. Sure.
Patience.
Okay.
The treasure was in me the whole time.
Can I paint you?
I mean, do we just want to drop some damage on this? I want 2 units to go away so that we can add Golden Sister. Or just one's fine. We can eat this hit, and we have a reasonable amount of health to heal back with her. Seems fine.
The light of my star warms the heavens.
A winner is you!
I kind of want to just go ahead and get this off the board, but this feels like a really good astral protection here. Just start grinding these dudes out. I think we do have to kind of moderately worry about a
Start the round.
that
Ooh, you wee
overrun thing, like making an appearance. The thing that gives +2/+2 and overwhelm to all your guys. This seems pretty reasonable.
A storm
Sure.
approaches.
What did we get?
This is where you want to be dropping Star Spring.
Keep trying.
You are beneath me.
Come on, chase!
Like this. I mean, we can technically do it
Can't leave
like.
until you win.
I think this is fine. I kind of want to protect our Boxtopus. Maybe we just throw this guy away.
I bow to no one.
We're not like winning the elusive game anytime soon.
Rend the skies.
Don't understand this. I was expecting like a harsh winds to come down so that we only won like 2 of these combats.
We were two.
I was not expecting to just win these across the board.
Light the signal fire.
This is going to be like an avalanche or something.
No more of your crap soup, lassie, please.
It's that soap? You've been drinking this?
It's avalanche into his egg. That seems like a bold strategy. Kind of want to just play Guiding Touch. Let's protect the slot bot. He's got a ton of stats. Okay. Bring in all that Yeti thunder. Sure. It's a lot of stats to try to work our way through. We can block this forever, but my big worry here is with the Nivea. I think this has to be safe, right? Given the amount of time that he just didn't do anything there.
Should have stayed home, pal.
And get me with like Fury of the North. Yep. Okay. Nothing we can do about that. Oh boy, that's gonna be a big trouble now. We need to protect here. He's gonna be hitting with 2 health Articunos. Problem having this thing pop off. We still have the mana to do this? Yeah. Okay, that makes me feel a little bit better. Not great, that's for certain, but at least feel a little bit better with this board now. We just can't answer this Articuno without a like shuffle away.
I bring the storm.
But I mean, we can completely ground this attack down. This seems awful spewy. This is a win. Let's get this out of here. Like, whatever combats we can win, let's just go win.
As foretold.
Insolence.
You pay first.
All our units are huge now. Let's just clear this out. Don't think that thing works with double trouble though, which is kind of awkward. The cosmic inspiration or whatever the thing was called that gives us gives all our units this big bonus.
Gotta go with the flow.
Sure.
A little luck for those who need it.
Force is meaningless without skill.
A game. Go
Alright,
on
well,
then.
just we got this full board of units now.
Who's on top of the bounty board today?
Can't really deal with this Articuno, but beyond that, I mean, it feels
The
fine.
Freljord's eternal guardian.
Do we need to protect our challenger here? We have the choice to astral protection our mountain goat, but I don't think we want to do that. I think we just want to goat hook here, hook this one until Lee Sin. Probably need to keep this guy healthy.
Start the round! Ooh, you wee scruff!
Woo!
Okay.
I protect this place.
Sure. This seems really good for us, right? I'm not wrong in this assessment. I'm pretty sure that this game's locked up. I'm feeling kind of worried about it, like we've lost it, but I mean we seem to be pretty far ahead here.
Where do you stand?
It's typically
on
just so hard to
cold
beat these
shots?
flipped Articunos. Like had a couple turns there that just didn't go exactly right, but that +2/+2 to everything was just humongous.
There's always fighting 8 punch Pablo!
Sure. Right, this should just get us to an open. Oh. We can do the math on the next turn. Okay, still feels pretty safe. We have 2 hooks, so just I guess if you drew a unit.
They say these were from the Protector himself.
Through the coral!
Aye, right. Where are you off to?
Okay. There's ways out of this, frostbites or whatever, or Will of Ionias, but I think we've got this one locked up. Sure.
a win streak!
Getting close. We're getting there. Tom, you made an appearance.
Table for one, if you'd oblige.
Aye, is dinner on you then?
Okay. I can't think of anything that lets him just top deck his way out of this one from this point.
Give us some room.
Start the round! Ooh, you wee scruff!
There we are. I kept like, just having this feeling that game was just over and over and over. Like I don't know. Like if you're playing Tall Tales and you can't win that game, I don't know why you ever want to be playing it if that's the case. But nonetheless, we're going to take our third Tahm Kench. When I was initially kind of reviewing, I thought that there might be a world where we only wanted to play like 2 Tahm Kench, 2 Soraka, because I kind of had a feeling that he would, just come down and remove a unit and then not do anything else the rest of the game. It sucks if that's like your 6 mana removal spell to like play Tahm Kench, eat a Leona, and just have it sit there. So I thought, he might just be kind of like this mediocre removal spell, and we might be willing to play like 2 Sorakas to try to activate him. Where we typically just do a 3-1 split. But no, he's been easy enough to keep healthy. To certainly want to have 3 copies of. So I think this is a pretty easy take with the third Tahm Kench. Okay. Righty. I worry a little bit about the Frostbite stack with what we're trying to do here, but I think we can pull this off. These slot bots are going to be rolling. If you're not familiar with this new blood on the Ice archetype, it's around playing Noxcria Arena, and then frostbiting your opponent's best unit. So the arena makes your strongest unit and your opponent's weakest unit fight each other, and then you use frostbites to turn whatever of your opponent's units you want into their weakest unit. So you hopefully just win whatever combat you're trying to pull off. Just kill their best unit.
This is a real spin to
This is
win.
fine. I'm cool to just go ahead and trade here if that's what he wants to allow us to do. Sure. It's going to be tough for us to win the combats with the smaller health units. I'm fine to just go ahead and get that slammed in there. This is like I kind of want to just be gymming up these slot bots. I think this is okay. Why didn't that heal? That doesn't heal? Ugh, that's annoying. I had this set of ideas. That's how this was going to go. I would have sequenced this differently if, like, it visibly shows this having damage. So I thought that we could heal this up to 4.
These jewels are more than mere
That's
trinkets.
awkward. I don't feel safe attacking with this now.
Function call. Celebrate.
I'm gonna have to go to bitch to Riot about that. That's
Aberrations, stand
not ideal.
together.
Not ideal. How can we do this with pocket aces? We can play around brittle steel, but what else does this like? This loses to a multitude of cards if this goes wrong. I think I'm okay
This is
with like
not the way.
doing this, to where if he has harsh winds, we just lose. But if otherwise, he just has to kind of pick and choose, and he can't win both of these. Yep. I considered trying to play around brittle steel over here. But if he just has like anything else that isn't brittle steel, then we just get so blown out there. that this is okay. Getting him to trade, you know, 2 cards onto the board there.
Stupid.
Smell that barg?
Sure.
Fear.
The treasure was in me the whole time.
Pablo's been down, but his knee out! Ah, I told your ancestors to protect!
We have to assume that this is going to go poorly, but I think we're okay with
Where
it.
are you off to?
Then we can still add another slot bot after the fact. Got his 4th Brittle Steel. Oh, that was an Ash Flash freeze. Okay. Yeah,
My
we're gonna.
aim is
This is going to be
true.
pretty tough for us to recover from. Well, are we just dead to a Crystal Arrow? Was he at 10-19 on board? Should be able to play a Moondreamer after he arrows us, but
Give
this
it a
is
whirl.
this is certainly not an ideal situation to be in.
Spin, spin, spin. You win.
I guess if we Crystal Arrows, we can just sunk cost his Ash so that we can at least block.
A gift from Avarosa.
Which is 13. It would take us to 4 if we just eat this. Reason to gem. This will be a good blocker as well. Okay, well, see how this goes. He already spent 1 Ash, so it should be pretty tough for him to play his essential 3rd one.
Who goes there?
Okay.
Vermin.
All right. I don't see us ever winning this game just throwing health away from our slot bots. I think we gotta, we just gotta kind of hope for the best with some of these things here. This was horrible hitting stats that can't just outright win against this 5/5. Should probably Moondreamer first.
What's that one? And that one?
Get the opportunity to drop this. This can hopefully turn the game.
Leave your bags at the door.
Just can't. We can't do this. If we get into combat and it goes wrong, we just lose the game. So
You pay. I talk to
he's
spirits.
got
These
3
are my
overwhelms.
rules.
We got 3 dudes. Hopefully beefy enough to interact with that. And then so we want to weaken up the Fortune Croaker.
Spin, spin, spin. You win.
Okay. You may not see this coming.
Winter take you.
Sure. Seems like a pretty good spot for the Scourge. Just have a huge dude. I mean, the safe one is Falling Comet, that's for sure. Just don't feel like we need any of those. Let's just take the Scourge.
Stars have so much to tell us.
It's down to 2 cards, and I think we're just going to obliterate him in this combat.
How about another round?
Keep trying.
As foretold.
Can't leave until you win.
You pay first.
Come on,
Right.
Chase!
And that's just horrible for him, right? That'd just be horrible for him. Okay. And he can play like a mite, and we can star shaping through it. Okay, that's fine.
An auspicious season.
We don't lose our units, and then this gives us the chance. I don't think we're going to play the Scourge this turn. I want to just go ahead and Star Shaping and then Golden Sister. He can't have elusives. I think I want something with Spell Shield, so let's just take the cheapest one with Spell Shield. Sure. Okay, cool. So maybe we can just deploy the Scourge. How close are we to killing him if we play him? Be 3, 6, 9, 10. 10 plus 8, 18. Can't lethal, so let's play Golden Sister.
What once was 2 now is 1. Line up! My light shines.
Alright, we're feeling pretty good now. I'm pretty sure we turned the corner on this one. Yeah, we've got plenty of health. We've got some big old dudes in our hand. I'm pretty sure we're okay now.
Spin, spin, spin. You win.
So we can't really like win any of these combats even with Guiding Touch. I guess we can take you up to. I'd love to know what it would take this guy's health up to. That would be a useful piece of knowledge. I wish we could garner here. But
Witness divinity.
like, where is our health? Like, these have health.
We have
These
no
have health.
quarrel.
This has health.
As foretold.
This can just
This
block.
is outrage!
What does this even look like? You're taking 1 damage. Just net 1 damage. Okay, that's fine. Let's get the Scourge on board.
Our bond.
Bastards! I misjudged. So many stars.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else this guy's supposed to be doing, but what he's doing doesn't feel good enough. That's for certain. Sure.
I have
Got
my
it.
orders.
All right, boys. I think we're good now.
Gotta go with the flow.
Double Trouble was a huge pickup. What a time to pick up Double Trouble.
Chill in the
Sure.
air.
Who's on top of the bounty board today?
Okay, so you can hook here. Everything's gonna have Overwhelm, but it doesn't quite matter. Let's just do.
Written in the stars.
This feels like our weakest unit. Not worried about this
I've got us covered.
getting this hit in. This one point damage thing.
Stay back.
Alrighty. I didn't even realize that was lethal. I guess we could have done the math on it, but who wants to do math? Alright, cool. There's another one that felt like we were right on the verge of losing. It's cool. I think, like, I don't really want this sunk cost, but I feel like we have to hang on to it for the time being. It's our only removal spell. If we had a Sunburst, I'd be okay with getting rid of it. This feels like a deck that really only needs like 1. We're always cool to have like 2 and 3 unconditional removal spells in these slower decks, but we gotta have 1. And so, it feels okay to play less, or just the 1 feels okay when you have 3 Tahm Kench, but we have to have that 1, I think. So we're gonna hang on to our sunk cost. Wise Frost seems okay. We haven't had too much trouble clogging up the board in the early game, but this guy feels kind of awkward to use. I've never had the chance to play this. It seems like you got to come down and be like a, I don't know, like a 6/8. I'm just curious about how much of my units will actually harm with this. We're never taking Star Shepherd, so let's hang on to the Wazfra. We've had enough to do in the early games. I think we're okay to just keep a little bit more of our top end. I would rather that just be a Moondreamer, but I'm just not sure how bad this is when it has vulnerable. That's close, I think. Let's get rid of him. We're getting close to the end. Like, when it comes down to it, if we're able to just put, like, one more Moondreamer in our deck, then I don't want this. If we're able to pick up a Eclipse Dragon, then I don't want this. And I don't think we have too little top end without having this. Like, we're a little sparse, but not in a horrible spot. So let's actually get rid of this. Okay. Glad to see we can still carry some of these games without drawing Tahm Kench. That tends to be one of the issues with these champion build-arounds. Is, you know, if you never draw your champion, it's tough to win. But I mean, we're 4 wins deep. I think 6 games, and we've cast one one acquired taste. So that's a pretty good result, all things considered. And we're trying to abuse Tahm Kench and then just never drawing. Okay, this isn't even this is not a great 2 to hang on to, but against Bilgewater, I kind of want to have something to do in the early game and not just risk full mulligan and everything. I have to assume whenever we see Callista, even with a champion as good as Twisted Fate, that it's probably just a Callista build around. But we'll see what they're bringing forth. I don't think we'll ever going to be able to get quite aggressive enough with this box supposed to want to play him here. It's a great pickup in Human Warrant, though. I don't want to put the damage down. If we pick up a self-damage card, we want this thing to be able to survive. The only awkward point we get to here is, you know, I mentioned it a few games previous to where, you know, we want to be able to remove these good units from their board. So if they try to Blighted Caretaker us, they have to sacrifice real units. But, I mean, maybe this guy is just playing Twisted Fate cards. I don't. This is an odd situation to see happening here. But I mean, are we cool to just like Astral Protection a Boxtopus? Feels kind of low value. I kind of just want to Astral Protection a Slotbot to give him those extra 4 stats, but that feels pretty thin as well. Or what if we just even warned this thing? Kind of okay with that. Let's at least give him an opportunity to play more units. So if we want to actually go in with this Boxtopus, we can. If we want to just bank 3 spell mana, I'm pretty okay with that as well. See what we have. Give him the chance to do something. Like maybe he just plays Twisted Fate. That would be great for us. No Twisted Fates yet. Don't quite want to pull Shark here because we're playing Moondreamer 100% of the time next turn. Don't want to just discard it to Sketcher though. Let's at least get this down. Keep him from open attacking with this Callista.
Optimal outcome achieved.
This is so weird. Like, I'm gonna have to pitch it right about this. Like, can we? I'm pretty sure we can't just guiding touch this. This too needs to be not red. How do we want to go about this? Probably just astral protection. Right, that's not going up to 8, right? If they want that to be red because his base health is 4, and then it gets shuffled to 2. Like,
Is you.
A game. Go on then.
he's not happy with how that looks.
Trouble.
I feel like this fails like a non-zero amount of the time. This might be a little overly aggressive. We don't really care about this just 2 damage. But I'm mainly worried about him having like a Vile Feast kind of card here, so he still wins that. I'm not really worried about Bilgewater combat tricks. But, I mean, if he didn't have it last turn, this has to be a great opportunity to just hook in this Callista. I don't think we have anything to really add to the board. The only like reasonable unit we have is White Flame Protector, and I don't want to just trade it into this.
Bring a foot and woo, you wee scruff.
It has to be good, right, or to protect it as Twisted Fate. He's doing something. Oh, maybe he just didn't have 5 mana last turn. Okay.
Danger pays.
Sure. I think I'm okay to just silence his Jaw Hunters.
Oh yeah, that's a pretty sparkle fly.
So that seems good. I don't think we need to Moondreamer just yet, so let's keep trying to add stats to these slot bots. Silence here. Draw a card with Pool Shark. We'll just run it all out here.
We playing bilge rules, son?
Function call. Celebrate.
You sink this Callista before she flips.
Everyone's a garden.
Looks like we can. He has ways out of this. I mean, he can play a like sacrifice a unit, draw 2 or whatever. But this is successful. That's a big win for us. Don't really care about anything that these saplings would be hooking. He wants to murder mode some of our 1/1s here. Then more power to him.
Give it a whirl.
Sure. He's going to be hooking some of these. He's not just going to pass the turn with these things up. There's an argument just to slam him into slot bots to take the stats off of him. Looks like that's what he wants to do.
So much to play for. Searching for suck winners.
Okay, I think we just want to empty our board here.
Something the matter?
No kills, no entry.
Okay, this is fine. Then I'm pretty happy to rumble up our slot bots, just to give them those additional 4 stats.
What did we get?
Really? I hadn't quite considered what happens when we pick up Astral Protection and just make him huge. This is a pretty good spot for it. Or, I mean, we can always also just play it, right? Right? We can just play Rummel. I don't think so, though. Let's Moondreamer, pick up whatever the most expensive card is. That is the Scourge, and then we'll play Rummel next turn. I think this guy's gonna have a tough time beating our top end. This is certainly a solid way to go about it, but I think we're still okay here.
Spin, spin, spin! You win!
He rolled zeros 2 turns in a row. That's kind of rough. Oh, he's super far away from deep. Super far. No unit or landmark to replace. Let's get rid of Sketcher. 2 allies, you and you.
The destiny brings me home.
Yep. Then let's go ahead and Astral Protection. We're going to play the Scourge next turn. It's all big boys all the time.
Never lost a fair game.
Sure.
Soak it in.
Man, he is. I was pretty sure he was playing like Twisted Fate. It's strange for me to see because Callista's so good. But he is a very powerful champion.
The treasure was in me the whole time.
Teeth sharp and swift, risen from the darkest rift.
7 attack is the only scary one. Is that your vengeance? Crumble? Yeah. But he still doesn't have particularly good blocks here. On either Rummel or a big slot bot. He's losing stuff to these.
The journey starts here.
Good Abyssal Eye, though. You're just gonna have no answer to this ever.
Keep trying.
Just take that 16
Can't
bomb.
leave until you win.
Sure. See, now it's like, can we... Okay, it says it has plus 8 health. Can we, like, heal this now? Like, depending on the roll? I really don't like how this... I don't know. I can't be the first to have ever bitched about this. Have to send them the message and see if they can't fix that. Do something. Nothing we can do about that guy, that's for sure. It's Twisted Fate at 3. This is like I'm just gonna make blocks like he doesn't have anything. He hasn't had anything this whole game. Like I don't know why I would feel any different at this stage as opposed to whatever he's done the rest of this game. Okay. Pretty easy traveler. Yeah, we gotta just play for value here. Gotta find our big boys. Pretty okay with playing hired gun. We can pretty safely just cycle out these this Pool Shark. We should have another good attack next turn. This is a moderately scary unit. It's about to go deep.
I deal in coins and carnage.
And we don't have an answer to these. So we can slam Rummel into it.
So small,
Sure.
but she ain't lacking courage.
Sea monsters are getting a little bit scary. Not gonna lie. At least with this attack of Rummel into this thing, if he has a way to draw a card and go deep, then they at least trade. We can deal the 8 damage to this. Okay, no need to be ultra greedy here, I don't think. This wins here, this trades here. I'm okay with either of those happening.
I am rather large.
So much to play for.
Unfortunately, we can't answer this Abyssal Eye with our Tahm Kench. We got a lot of problems here. This Twisted Fate's about to flip as well. And we're gonna have to hit with the Traveler. I'm pretty sure we can't beat a flip Twisted Fate. Did we get him? Is he gonna have more pocket aces? Oh, nice. Cool.
Good game.
Stare at the abyss. It'll stare back.
Our Tahm Kench is a turn too slow. We have to find a removal here. Oh, Equinox has to count.
The mountain knows me. I am the traveler.
Words are lost in the roar of the winds.
Let's add that. Probably have to add Tahm Kench to try to answer this Twisted Fate. We'll see what we can do from here. This is not a good spot. Pretty sure we're just dead. If we're not dead like this turn, we're certainly in a horrible spot here. It's tough. He's got 6 cards in hand to our 1. He's good about to have a flip Twisted Fate and still has this Abyssal Eye that's about to flip.
Menu.
I guess you can win them all.
Sell into him!
Sure. We'll let this go. We need to try to focus a little on Tahm Kench here.
Going harvesting.
They've got nowhere to go.
This is too greedy. I want to. I think. I mean, there is the option to just start shaping our face, but I don't think we ever win the game doing that. Here's an elusive. These both have elusive. I think we want the spell shield one. What you got? Here comes some thunder. Sure.
Soak it in.
We're pretty far away from decking him. Sometimes you can get into these Twisted Fate decks and they start drawing 2 cards every turn and you can deck them. Doesn't seem like it's going to be the case here. Sure. I don't see much reason to add this White Flame Protector. But
You weren't always this way.
that one's certainly a mistake.
Dead in
Why
their
wouldn't you
tracks.
cycle it back as Abyssal Eye? Okay. It probably doesn't matter at this stage of the game, but I have to assume that you would prefer to have this thing back. Okay. Okay. Oh, Sunburst. Cool. Very happy to pick up a Sunburst. Sucks for it to be higher gun. It's like I saw this Coral Creatures and I was like, yeah, that's certainly an upgrade for a Boxtopus. And then immediately looked down and saw the Sunburst. And it's like, yeah, I don't want to lose our hired gun, but That's okay. We're certainly happy to pick up a removal spell with this style deck. Oh, this thing again. Get this out of here. Alright, Zed is a little scary for our deck. Don't have a whole lot of answers. This is a pretty reasonable keep. There's an argument to get rid of this Croaker, but I don't... Like, we're really just digging for Tahm Kench at that point. I think we're good to... I mean, with Spacey Sketcher, we can try to dig for the... oh, what's he called? The Challenger guy. See how it pans out. This dude just... if dude just opens Zed on us, we're in for a serious problem. I have to assume he trades here just 100% of the time. Oh, look at this guy's named Zed playing Zed. How about that? Really? He's just giving me the gems. Like, what do you ever want to do with this? No Zed, that's huge for us. I mean, we can roll the dice with double trouble. Kind of okay with this. It's like we're not interacting here otherwise. Like, we don't have anything that can block Mist Wraith. We can just draw a card if we want. Okay. I guess I'm okay with that. This double trouble's not going to be that spectacular either. I think I'd actually rather just have the gem than the double trouble. Since he hasn't played Zed, like it has a bit more value against Zeds in the you know, you can just block the shadow over and over again, but it doesn't seem to be like what's happening here. Let's just get rid of double trouble. See if we can't find the 0 cost guy. Nope. We want to Moonglow? That seems awful. Let's just take Crescent Strike. I think it's too early in the game to be trying to get aggression going with the elusive guy. And just adding the elusive guy to block Young Witch doesn't feel like a whole lot of value. Okay, I feel like this will be good. It's hard for this combination of colors to have a winning combat against the Protector. And then if he plays like a 3-attack dude, we're still okay with like gemming out here. This doesn't change anything. It's technically just gem our Spacey Sketcher now, which I kind of like. Let's do it. Let's get in.
Where are you, spirit?
Sure. Can't imagine he plays this and then wants to block. Oh, that seems awful for him. Okay, I'm certainly happy with that outcome. Don't have a blocker for Mist Wraith as it stands, so we might get domed for 6 here, but that's not the end of the world. Risen Mists has been more problem.
This way, go.
Okay. Probably need Equinox now just to turn some of these units off. I don't think we'll ever get a chance to Crescent Strike this guy. Let's get in.
I hear them.
Love seeing these units go down. This guy's pretty healthy. I have to imagine he's not going to have any more Risen Mists after playing 2. Sure. When we get to like plan ahead, this isn't a huge deal. It's when the immediate cards coming down, the burst units coming down that are problems. Boys, you know what happens when they emote too early. So we can spread out like this. We can do this. Then we are going to have a pretty good dice roll with the slot bot, but I think that's just how we have to hope. We could have silenced one of these, but then okay, we were just dead. Just dead. Nothing we could do about that. Oh man, we even rolled good. Okay. Damn. Okay. Okay, and for our recap with this one, I like how this came together. I think everything came together pretty reasonably here, especially if we look from Tahm Kench down. We're not excited to have White Flame Protector, but that's whatever. If we would have had like one more Moondreamer, one more Sunburst, I would have been pretty stoked with how everything down here looks. I think we approached this pretty much just how we'd want it to be. You can't really like assume that you're going to have these Aurelion souls here, because if you're going to jump in on Targon, which I think will frequently happen, you're going to be running into Leonas or whoever. You don't really care who the other champion is if you're trying to build around Tahm Kench. You care about the Tahm Kench cards. But if we kind of ignore their Aurelion soul and think of this as okay, we were trying to pick up 3 Moondreamers and then 2 or 3 of these unconditional removals, and then just like one big dude. We were pretty spot on in there. Like I would love to have had another Moondreamer. I would have loved to have had like 3 star shapings. That would have been completely fantastic if we had 3 Moondreamers, 3 star shaping. But we didn't get quite to the end of the run there to hopefully trade into that like top notch pieces of top end. And so everything from Tahm Kench up, it's okay. Like I'm happy with the astral protections, the mountain goats, Boxtopus, Spacey Sketcher, Pull Shark, Gift Giver are the units that we're actually looking for here. And so there's not like a whole lot of stuff that we don't really want. Like these slot bots aren't very good. Double Trouble, Sunblessed Vigor, not very good. But otherwise, the things up here turned out fine. And so, if you're looking to draft Tahm Kench yourself, I should say specifically this Targon flavor of it. The things that you're going to be looking for here are you need to notice that you are going to be a control deck. We're looking to be pretty slow. We only drew Tahm Kench like 2 or 3 times this whole run. I know for a fact that we cast an Acquired Taste twice, and one of them just was at the very end of a game and not mattering. And so, realistically, you should be getting much more Tahm Kench. You should be getting much more Acquired Tastes going. And you're just going to be able to, slowly pick off your opponent's units and then just grind them out with invokes. And so, the things that we're typically looking for here are, you're building towards these 3 Tahm Kench. We're going to be slow. We're going to be kind of a control deck. And how are we going to take advantage of that? It's going to be with invokes. We're going to look for, about 3 Moondreamers, about 3 star shapings. If you can't find the 3 Moondreamers, adding in Rummel is okay. Not really looking to have either Zap or Protector, but that's fine. You're going to have some filler in here that you aren't really looking for. You're going to look for 2 or 3 of these kind of unconditional removal spells. I would really prefer just to have 3 sunbursts, and you don't want more than 1 sunk cost because it's just so expensive. But 2 sunburst, 1 sunk cost, 1 and 1, both fine. Really looking to have about 3 removal spells to pair with these 6 expensive cards. And then down on the bottom end, you do need to still have some of this healing for Tahm Kench. The preferred healing spell being Star Shaping, but Astral Protection and Guiding Touch are both okay. I wouldn't go like super far out of your way to just pick up these Guiding Touches and Astral Protections. You should just kind of incidentally get enough. I would go out of your way to pick up Star Shapings though. And so then just beyond that, just make sure that you actually have some interaction for the early game. We picked up 2 Boxtopus. That's great. We had a hired gun for a while. Those are, your interactive early game units. You do want to pick up whatever gift givers and mountain goats you're able to see. And then you do want to pick up pull sharks and the other card draw dude, Fortune Croaker, as your kind of card draw package. So, if you're looking to build this yourself, to kind of recap again, the early game units that you're actually looking for here are Gift Giver, Pull Shark, Boxtopus, Fortune Croaker, Mountain Goat, and then the non-appearance from the hired gun here. Otherwise, out of these early game cards, you do want to pick up some of these healing cards. So you are going to look for some guiding touches and astral protections, but you're not going to go out of your way to find them. Then over here in your top end, you're going to look for 2 or 3 removal spells between Sunburst and Sunk Cost. And then if you can find 3 Moon Dreamers, 3 Starp Shapings, that would be the ideal ways to be closing out your games. But that's going to do it for our recap here. We don't have any win rewards because we're still on that run, so we probably got some wild cards to flip over in the region rewards. Let's see, card back kind of counts, I guess. Is that it? There's no way we're just done with these, right? Click on Demacia. Something going to open? Okay, cool. not being salty. It was just a question. Oh, cool. The whole thing upgraded. I still haven't spent any gems. I've been playing Constructed again and having to use wild cards. Still haven't spent any of these 100k gems that we're sitting on. Cool. Random epic. This should be a Shyvana. Not sure how many of those we have. I haven't been playing Shyvana. Oh, Soraka. Interesting. I thought you opened up a champion out of your faction. But there you have it. I hope you guys enjoyed the run, learned a little bit about Tahm Kench, enjoyed watching and had a little fun. This is Free to Play Bust, and we thank you for being here.